Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, we don't have a crystal ball, but we do have our pulse on what's hot in the world of weddings. From Wild West nuptials on the ranch to bridal jumpsuits and even GoPro wedding videos. The Wedding Expo's Melissa Bell is here to walk us down the aisle on what's new for 2016 in the world of weddings. Melissa, so good to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Weddings excite me. I'm not going to lie. I haven't had one yet, but when it happens, it's going to be amazing. Now, for me, I think the wedding reception is really, really important. But there's this new trend of restaurant receptions. Tell us about that.
It's more sort of couples who have a smaller guest list. They're wanting to take things smaller.
Yeah.
And so going to a restaurant that you love, a great setting, especially where, the food's great. I think it's a really great thing to do and to take all your friends to. It could also be the first restaurant where you actually met. So that's really
so
nice. They
special.
make it personal. And so it's a great trend that's coming about.
Yeah.
If it's the food you love, you can always get the restaurant chef to cater for you elsewhere.
Yeah.
There are a lot of locations and settings where you can have a wedding. So it's something nice that's coming about, doing it in a restaurant.
Very nice. Unless you met at a fast food joint, that'll be different.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be great.
That won't be great at all. Now, we know that wedding hashtags are very popular in 2016.
Yes.
There's a hashtag going around, unplugged weddings. What's this craze about?
It's a great craze, I think. Personally, it's sort of taking the technology and sort of electronics away from a wedding. So couples are choosing to have a wedding where there are no cell phones, especially during the ceremony. And I think that's really important, to have your guests focus on the I-dos. You do hire the services of a photographer, and he's capturing those moments. So I think it's a nice trend coming about. But then again, you have couples who create hashtags for their weddings, and that's also great. They create a website, and then every hashtag gets put there, so you have a whole journey of your wedding.
I know, hashtags are very, very cool right now. I know that a lot of people have been doing the whole rustic wedding thing that's very popular, but what if you want to go for something a bit more glam?
Well, rustic's, always been around, especially DIY, because it's so popular and inexpensive. Couples really like that. But I think when it comes to glamour, it's just taking that sort of mason jar look out of the picture and using the fairy lights. Instead of having them in the mason jar, you've now got them down the centre of the table. And that's very, very glamorous. We're seeing all the brides now with sort of floral embellishments on their gowns, beads down their spine. And it's definitely all about the bride. It's a big day. So to make it glamorous is really what counts.
And there's something called the updated rustic look, rustic decor. How do you update rustic decor?
I think you're still doing DIY, where you can, but in a more glamorous sense. So you're still using pallets as tables, but, throwing a beautiful white satin cloth over it. And bringing a bit of sort of, I wouldn't say chandeliers, but a bit of diamante to the whole setup, makes a rustic look more glamorous.
So much that one can do. Now, I know that wedding favors are a must for any wedding.
Yes.
What does a couple do if they maybe want to make it more personalized?
Well, when it comes to stationery, there's so many options you can do, making it yourself. A handwritten note at the end of the day goes a long way, because a bride and a groom spending time to say thank you to the guests, it really always counts. And you don't need to spend a lot of money. I know budgets are always tight on weddings. So from sort of silk ties for the men as a gift to something small like sugared almonds and a little, beautiful casing can be lovely. So, guests don't come expecting a gift. But I think if you take the time to make them appreciated, it's, it's a memory, and that's what a wedding needs to be.
Exactly. As long as you don't take the bouquet of flowers on the table, I'm happy.
Yes, yeah.
Family, I hope you're listening. Thank you so much, Melissa. This has been absolutely amazing. Definitely saying I do has never been this exciting before, yeah?
No, your wedding will be fabulous as well.
I certainly hope so. Well, if you're around, it's going to be that way. Now, one thing that's also quite awesome is having a photo booth at your wedding. It's the newest craze. And our DIY princess Zoe is going to show us how to make an inexpensive photo booth.